A drink, mein Chancellerie?
Yeah, a large one.
All of it?
Yeah.
Bad day.
Oh, yeah. The bra is coming off, Birgit. Oh, I've been wanting to do that all day.
You should have done.
Drive them all crazy with lust.
You could have put it on your head and covered your ears so you couldn't hear what they were all saying.
Good idea. Another one.
Oof. We should be Blotto.
This is Britain at its very best, Birgit, from a long way away. You know, this Nicola Sturgeon was there today from the Scottish Nationalist Party. I am hopping with rage.
For she in the suit, in the hot beige.
Yeah, she's definitely usurping my style. The suits, the hair.
She wants to be chic and glamorous like you.
She is threatened by my sexiness. No?
Yeah, you are a total hottie Frau.
Oh, shush now, Birgit.
It's true, Angela. You are a sex kitten. You're like a white Beyonce.
Is this what they are saying, Birgit?
Or a sturdy German pussycat doll. Now, mein Chancellerie, tomorrow in Berlin.
I mean, that's the thing about the Sturgeon woman. She is obsessed with referendums.
There is nothing else to do in Scotland but have referendums.
That is dark and cold, and they probably do it to keep warm, yeah? But why does she have to do it looking like an Angela Merkel singing tribute lady, huh?
Tracey Ullman, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you very much, Ricky.
Tracey Ullman, everybody.
Was I like this in the front row? Was I? Go, girl. Wow, look at my little crown.
What do you think of that crown?
Royal as I'll ever get. Wow.
She's a woman of great characters.
I love that. Nice HBO poster work there.
Tracey, what number? This is your fourth show? Sketch show? Third or fourth sketch show?
It seems like I make a show every decade. The 80s, the 90s, the noughties, and now 2016. So, and they always have my name in it. It's all about me. But, you know, then people can see in the TV guide, and it's, you know.
When you go in to pitch the show, they're like, what's the show called? It's called Tracey Ullman Show. What do you mean, what's it called?
Yeah. I'm in the Tracey Ullman business. What do you think it would be about? Yeah, exactly.
So when you go into doing a new show, is there a new approach for you, or is it that you want to get out there and you want to start doing characters again and you want to start talking about pop culture?
Yeah, I've got a box full of wigs. And I've had them since I stole them from the BBC in the 80s, some of them. And and they just talk to me every few years. Sometimes I think, I don't want to do this again. I can't put the makeup on and do all that. You know, I'm getting too old. And then I just think, I hear their voices and I get my little wigs on. I put Kay on or something, you know, my little character. I go, yes. And I want to do it again. And I look at society around me every few years and want to tell stories about it and do that, you know, and started doing impersonations now of like famous people, which I'd never done, and find that very intriguing because of the celebrity culture we have. And
so much of your
lucky to still be doing it.
So much of your wonderful impersonations are kind of about normalizing these people that we put up on these massive pedestals, or we would never assume do things like need to take their bra off because it's gotten uncomfortable throughout the day. Is that sort of what you like doing when you impersonate them?
Yes, I think I sort of interpret people. I mean, I find a sort of twist on, like Angela Merkel. I kept seeing her as a very powerful woman in the world, and I just imagine she's the only girl in the room so often, and that maybe she thinks she's very sexy, and everybody wants to, you know, the rumor of the sexy mask and the sex bomb. I remember years ago, do you remember George W. Bush went up behind her and hugged her, and she went,
Well, he did like a long massage,
or
right?
Something.
Yeah, he sort of like came up and said,
yeah, I'm not saying it was particularly him, but anyone, like, you know, she went like that, you know. And it's like if anyone hugs the Queen, she goes, and so I admire her very much as well. She's got a particularly tough job right now, dealing with Brexit and European Union. And so anyway, a lovely writer, Georgia Pritchett, who writes on Veep. A lot of the writers on this show actually work for Veep on HBO.
Veep, absolutely incredible show, if not the best comedy show that we have.
I was very lucky to get, you know, and they're English writers. They're Armando Iannucci, who started writing Veep. You know, all the writers were English, so they'd all worked in America, and then so we have this sort of global sort of thinking, and so Georgia and I wrote Angela Merkel up this way. But that was Georgia's thing, to take off. The bra is coming off. And Sam Spiro, we imagined that she would have her best friend. Birgit is a, you know, fictional character. I imagine she would have traveled with her best friend, who is a makeup artist for years and years and years. And
it's interesting because it's Angela, but it's also, I could imagine that being Hillary and Huma to a degree, like her best friend Huma, like sitting down. Come on, Huma.
Yeah, Oprah and Gail. I mean, the best friends thing. You know. Yeah.
And you also do a wonderful Dame Judi Dench, where you sort of turn the the icon Dame Judi Dench on its head.
Yeah. I love Judi Dench. I'm so proud of all those older English actresses, you know. They're so wonderful. And Judi has this wonderful, wonderful voice. Royal Shakespeare Company. And somebody I will never be. I couldn't be that sort of actress. You know. And Maggie Smith, we all love, don't we? And you all love her from Downton Abbey. You know that Maggie didn't speak like this years ago, but she lived with somebody called Kenneth Williams who did speak like that. And now she speaks like that. And I admire them and I love them and I want to be them and have careers as long as theirs.
Well, you have, in many ways.
I've sort of hijacked these dear women like Trojan horses and used them in my show. And I'm like, but I think they're very... Dame Judi is very generous about me impersonating her and accepts awards as, hello, I'm Tracey Ullman. And she's been very cool about it. But
for anyone who
I love them. I'm very proud of them.
For anyone who hasn't seen the impression of Dame Judi Dench, the thing is that Dame Judi Dench gets away with anything she wants because everybody loves her.
I'm a national treasure. So she can
a klepto.
She can shoplift and scratch cars. And if anyone accuses her, they go, oh, you're Dame Judi Dench. You couldn't have just done that. No, why would I do that? And she's very naughty. And it was the most amazing makeup a guy called Floris Schuler did for me as Judi. And when we were filming in England, people thought we were making another Bond film. And you know it's really, really good, the makeup, when people actually think it's Dame Judi Dench. Genius makeup. I wear a lot of makeup.
And now the show premiered already on the BBC in January, right? And now it's coming to HBO. Is there a part of you that wishes that you were kind of making it right now in the United States as we're in the midst of this sort of completely crazy and absurdly comic election at right now?
Well, I mean, I made this first series went out before Brexit, and it was weird. I just filmed a second series in England, and 2 days into filming, the Brexit vote happened, and we decided to leave Europe, which is not what I wanted to do personally, but I didn't know what Angela would want, so I had to rewrite these Angela sketches very quickly. I think Saturday Night Live, as usual, is doing a fantastic job during this election. I mean, Kate McKinnon's Hillary Clinton is just a joy. I like Tina Fey doing Sarah Palin a few years ago was just fantastic, you know, that we have this political satire that cuts through it and makes us laugh, because it's a very intense time, yeah. I mean, Brexit was really intense. It's left a very big psychological, you know, scar in my country. It's very odd. We're dealing with it now. It's repercussions for years. And
you're like
but I'm back here. I'm an American too, so I get to vote. I'm here. I'll be here in the next few weeks. And it's like a hybrid.
Is there like a weird psychic limbo right now in the UK?
Yeah, it's odd.
It's strange.
Because I mean, as a child, I remember when we went into the European Union, and trust me, before we went in there, it was crap. We were crap. We had crap food. We had fish and chips and things called spotted dick for dessert. And everyone used to make fun of our food. And now you think it's really cool. You know why? Because we're with the French and the Italian. We joined the European Union. And that's what scares me, is it's going to be a culinary disaster once we leave. We're going to be eating spotted dick again. And toad in the hole and wearing polyester car coats and going to Cardiff on our holidays. Ah! I don't want to be the old England. I love being a European. Hello, hello. I go to Paris. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's fantastic.
Possibly the greatest argument for multiculturalism I've ever heard, which has happened right now. Yeah. Better food.
Because if we go back to steak and kidney pudding,
So, as we said that at the beginning of this, this is not your first show, of course, but when you start a new show, do you try to have a new process? Do you sort of go about it in a different way? Or are you like, this is how I like to work, let's start there?
Well, I'm never stuck in what I want to do. I like to shake it up. I love writers coming to me with, I'll try different things. I mean, there's a good sketch in the first show that's all about a woman trying to get a job at a bank who's just committed genocide. And it was written by this guy who lives in Ireland who never writes much. He just sent one sketch in And it was just like, yeah, we have to do this. I like being, but it
does
always
this-
comes from me finding a character to be, me finding a real person to be. And when I can get a character behind it and make them real, then the sketches seem to work. But I work with many brilliant writers, and I had a wonderful director for this show called Dominic Brigstock, who's very, very BBC. Worked with Steve Coogan and Ricky Gervais, and just marvellous, and they're all very shy at first. And they say sorry a lot. And we're not sorry. Sorry about that. Sorry, Ricky. Terribly sorry. Sorry. He's like, you're not sorry. And he got a lot out of me and would give me wonderful, simple directions and make me calm down, which that takes a lot. Just come at it. And he was very good with me. It brought a big difference. So I really love collaborating every time. And I'm a bossy old cow, but I'm not that bossy. And I love it if I love new things and keeping current. And
So do a lot of your own pitches kind of come out of characters that you're developing? Like you sort of walk in and you're like, I'm doing this thing suddenly that I like. What do you think we can do with this voice that I'm doing right now?
yes, or this sensibility, or wanting to do the show a couple of years ago is because I was to be asked by the BBC after 30 years to do something sort of based in Britain was like quite a shock to me. And I thought, we're this global hub, and like I'm talking about, we were just this incredible ethnic melting pot and this buzzing aisle, and that people came and went and got thrown out and asked to, and so it was an exciting, different place, Britain, to be, and that was how I felt in 20 change. We voted to leave Europe, but we've gone backwards. But
Brexit for people in the UK right now is like Trump for people in the US. It's hard to talk about anything else.
It's
You find
tough.
yourself,
and it's the people that didn't vote to leave, like myself. Yeah, we find it hard. But you could see it coming. You have to also look around and see it wasn't just it was an economic thing, and it's a difficult time. People are dissatisfied and they don't like establishment politicians, especially in England, and
and
it's
here,
difficult.
I mean,
Yeah. So there's a revolt, and you have to listen to it. It's interesting. So I'm sure there'll be lots about that in the show next year if I do it again. And that's how you change and do different things. And but some things stay the same, like my character Kay, who I think I did in the 80s in the American show. I don't remember that character. And then I did it again in the 90s. And she always works somehow. She's like a classic clown. And that's just somebody I knew who was a bank clerk I met when I was 17. And she's just a nice lady, She's a virgin, obviously, lives with Mother. Hello, Mother, it's Kay. Can't have cats because Mother's allergic. And she's terribly brave and doesn't expect much in life, and just will go along with anything, really. And she's always worked for me, and I love her. When I'm Kay, I'm just like, my daughter says, you are sort of Kay. There's a little bit of you that's Kay. And she likes steak and kidney pudding. Mother voted for Brexit.
Do you feel like
didn't.
there's a little bit of you in every character, in the sense that, like, if I was a national treasure and I was Dame Judi Dench, I'd kind of see what I could get away with here and there.
Yeah. I do like the people I impersonate. I don't impersonate anyone I don't like. I can't do it, really. I mean, I don't want to be spiteful. I just like people. It's not mean-spirited humor. I go a little near the edge and weird. I'm weird. But my kids think I'm weird. But it's not mean. I don't do it to be mean to people.
Mm-hmm. I was watching an interview that you did just the other night on Jimmy Kimmel, and I have to ask, you did off the cuff an impression of Meryl Streep that was incredible, because you're apparently friends with her, and
Yes.
you go out drinking with her every now and then.
Yeah, she's a good friend of mine. I've known her since, she's my one celebrity friend. I don't know a lot of celebrities. I happen to know Meryl. I did a film with her when I was a young girl, and we've remained friends. And oh my God, Peanut. And she gets so dramatic, everybody. Now, we're off like a herd of turtles. She's very funny. She's really dramatic, Meryl.
Did you say off like a herd of turtles?
Where she says really old-fashioned things that nobody's said since 1941. She calls people Peanut. And we're off like a herd of turtles. Her mom used to say that. So she's, she's wonderful. And I think I was talking to him about her because I kind of know her so well. And she's like, it's like you go out with her in town. It's like you're going out with, she's just this goddess and this inspiration to every generation. She's just a lady. So I used to wind them up on that film I was on with her.
Into the Woods,
Everyone was
right?
like, Miss Streep, and come here. And I go, don't be nice to her. She's such a cow. You know, just one on, they'd go, oh. I go, she's a pain in the arse. She'd go, oh, shut up. You know, it's like.
That's literally our Judi Dench, who you're talking about.
I
You know, that's like America's national
Well,
treasure.
she is a national treasure. She's fantastic. She's a fantastic woman.
Move like a herd of turtles is maybe my favorite phrase.
No, we're off like a
Off
herd.
like a-
We're off like a herd of turtles. And if you do things that are silly, she says that you're being noodly. It's so old-fashioned. It's like 1944.
Is there anyone that you impersonate that you haven't built into the show yet? People or impressions that you're working on right now?
No, I don't think there's always, you know, I'll try and I just assess the situation when I'm doing a show of who I want to be and what. Some things I find very hard. I mean, it's to find the right men to play. I always like to try and play a male character in my show, and I found one this time to be. As anybody's like you see, whenever you're in a Starbucks, there's always a guy working on his laptop, like in a Starbucks. And I notice there's a lot of disenfranchised white males in their 40s who are like, yeah, hi, Treg, doing a Snapchat thing here, working on an app. Yeah, double latte, go around the lead, love. Could just go around the lead. You know, they think the Starbucks is their office, and they treat the staff, they're like, yeah, Yadja, could you bring me over a flat white? And hurry up, I'm on a meet, I've got a call here. You know, and I've seen those guys, and they're sort of sad. They sort of lost their way. So I wanted to be, that's what Dominic Brigstock said about this group. They've lost their way. Because there's, you know, people are sort of disenfranchised and lost now. There's not jobs for life anymore. You have to create your own, build your own PR and be an impresario all the time. And I think it's difficult for people. So I was that guy. And I got to have a bald cap and a little tonsure of hair. He's got that hair that there's a bit missing there, but he's hung on to a section at the front. You know those guys, they've got a circle of hair there.
Yeah, we call them David Axelrod in our country.
Yeah, it's a David Axelrod, yeah. That look. Yeah, has he finally gone grey? It's like, you got to go grey, guys.
Every time I watch him on CNN, he's got a bit of a mullet in the back. He's got strays of hair combing over here. And then he's just got patches.
Yeah, from every decade. He's like, I did a show every decade. He's got a hairstyle from every decade, yeah.
Hold on to the mullet, but keep the intellectual part. Yeah. So when you're working on these characters, where does it start for you? Where does a character begin?
Teeth. The teeth. Teeth are great. I have a person that makes me teeth. Because, you know, if you're speaking more to the front of your mouth or, you know, you can what ones, I don't know, teeth are really important. And just listening to the real people. I've never used, like, accent coaches or anything because they're good. They're brilliant for some people, but they've trained at Juilliard or NYU, and they're just, you know, they do their interpretation of an accent from somewhere. I just listen to the real people. I mean, years ago, before YouTube and stuff, I'd be doing the Tracey Ullman show at Fox in LA, and they say, be someone from Brooklyn. I think, oh my goodness, well, I'll just call somebody in Brooklyn. I'd call like a car dealership, and I called like an operator at a
Hello, I got to talk to my supervisor. I spoke to an incredible woman called Rosemary, and she had the kind, you know, they masticate everything, and she talked this way. And I just talked to her for a long, long time, and she was very, very kind to me. And, you know, if you listen to the real people, it's going to be so much better than if you talk to somebody who's trained to do, like, a Brooklyn accent, you know.
Well, because
it's not like an actress.
Because you're going to do an interpretation.
Yeah, I'm going to interpret Rosemary.
Right.
What sort of car do you drive? I have a Honda. You know, she had a little car. And just, if you find out what cars, and my son is a handicap. And she was so adorable. And, you know, I never forgot her and how kind she was to me. And if she heard herself on TV, she wouldn't know. I don't know. That's not me. It can't be. And it's just that sadness. I don't know. I just loved her voice. So I would call people in places in the country. And I do that. I still do that. Ooh, creepy person. But now I've got YouTube, so I can check everybody out. But if somebody's aware that you're listening to their voice, it's no good. You know, you have to catch them unawares.
Do you ever find yourself doing an impression and think, like, oh, that's actually too close to the person, I'd rather do something that's interpretive and funny. So you get the sense that I'm doing that you get the sense that I'm doing this person, but I'm actually creating a character out of them.
Yeah, yeah. And it's like, you've got to make it funny. You've got to have a story for them. You can start with a voice like that, but then what does she do? How do you make a sketch out of it? How do you make a show out of it? How do you get a beginning, middle, and an end? And that's when your writing team comes in and you figure out what to do, you know, because there's lots of people, you can do lots of voices. It's finding those stories and the stories throughout. That's the writing is so important. And I'm always spontaneous on the day. I'll improvise something, but when something's well written, I mean, when I worked for Woody Allen and did some films with him, he would send you, if he sent you the entire script, you just go, my goodness, it's brilliant. When he sent me Bullets Over Broadway.
That's one of his best movies.
And you just, oh my goodness, to do 90 minutes like that. And then he would, when we shot it, he would do like, there were 9 characters in a scene that lasted for 8 pages. And he did it in one shot. And things like that, you go, wow, you know, it was magic.
What was it like working with him when you worked with him? Because you get different I think you get different ideas of what he's like as a director from different time periods of his career, where some people say, I think more recently, I show up, we just go. He doesn't really even tell me what to do. We just sort of get on set and we're putting our marks and we go. Whereas I think you talk to people from the 70s, 80s, and maybe even the early 90s, and it's a bit more detailed and there's a lot more work with the DP.
I'm sure he chatted a lot more to Diane Keaton back in the day, than just show up. No, he was very, you know, he sends you this script and you're thrilled to work with him and people are in awe. But yeah, I worked with him a bit more that I wanted more of a conversation out of him. Like, come on, Woody, make me laugh. Like, you know, it's like if you get a bit of time, you know, it's like, make me laugh. And
you were sort of pushing Woody Allen?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, come on, man, you know. So
I like the idea of all the other actors on the Woody Allen set being, oh, Mr. Allen's on set, I don't want to, and you running over to Woody. Come on, Woody, come on, tell me some stories.
He was really sweet, yeah. And when my son was young at the time, and he was pretending to be a dog all the time. You know, little kids are little, and Woody was trying to talk to him, and Johnny's going, I'm going, oh, yes, Bill. He went, do you think if I throw a stick, the kid will go away? He would say, you know, and he went, and it made me laugh. And he was reading The Village Voice once, and he went, oh. I went, what you read, Woody? He went, they're still looking for 212 lesbians. And I said, no, that's 212 lesbians. That's Manhattan lesbians. And he knew. he was just being funny.
You also worked with...
But he can be very quiet, and he doesn't say anything to you, and you have to be very confident as an actor to not want praise from him. If you want praise, you're not going to get it. The best praise you can get is he doesn't fire you at the end of the day.
Right. The best praise is moving on.
Yeah.
You also worked with one of my favorite filmmakers as well, John Waters.
Yeah, I love that.
Which is such a wonderful film.
Really? It was outrageous.
It's totally outrageous. I think it's fantastic.
Loved him. I loved the whole being in Baltimore Blue Crab. Yeah, really funny place. I loved it. And he's the king of Baltimore.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like there, like Baltimore. You realize how south it is. Everybody says, heroin,
It was, he's great. I loved that. I liked his whole team, and I liked the city a lot, and I had a great time there.
Now, it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but if I remember correctly, you get amnesia when you are struck in the head by...
a lawnmower handle that makes me become incredibly oversexed. Johnny Knoxville converted me, and it was Johnny Knoxville. We had a wild time. There was a lot of night shoots in Baltimore. And I met Cal Ripken and things like that. It was fabulous.
How did John Waters approach you for that movie?
Just offered it to me, and I just love John Waters. Waters a big fan. He's a very cool guy.
Yeah.
And he wears beautiful clothes, Comme des Garçons, and he's very cool, John. I met him in his New York apartment, and you think he's this wacky, wild, crazy guy. His house is beautiful, beautiful art, beautiful clothes. He's very together, and his parents come on all the shoots, you know. And they're very nice, older Baltimore people. He goes, my parents are so embarrassed by me. He's got these really nice parents.
Let's open it up to the audience for some questions. Who has questions out here?
I have been a fan forever.
Oh,
you are
thank you.
an idol of mine. It's just amazing. When did you realize you had this gift to entertain? Were you very young did you entertain your parents and your friends, or was it something you developed? Because I do stand up myself, and Oh my God, you are just.
That's so kind of you to say that. Thank you. And thank you for your, being my pal. I'm just looking, I've been directing stuff to you, and you did this at the top. Give me the confidence, man.
I've been watching you forever.
It's like my mum. Yeah, well, this is my mum. I used to do a show in my parents' bedroom, didn't you? Yes. I used to want to put on a show.
All the time.
Put my mother's negligee on, the hair curlers.
The bathrobe.
The hairbrush, pretend to be Edith Piaf. Rubbish. And my mum would go, oh, she sings in French. She's so... And my dad sadly died when I was 6, but I can remember him, one of my early memories is him putting me on the counter in his shop and making me just sing and dance for his customers. And but I wasn't an obnoxious kid. Like, I was kind of had to be asked to do it. But then I just found the funniest reactions I got from my family was like imitating them or my teachers or our neighbors. And so I did that, but it was something I could always do, like play piano or kick a football. I don't know, I just could do voices, and then I got sent to a stage school, which I really found the whole showbiz thing, I found it really painful, and pushing yourself and promoting yourself, and I kind of got lucky, because I'm not, I wasn't a conventional kind of person to do that.
How did it initially happen for you if you weren't, pushing yourself and self-promoting and doing all these things?
I found so hard, and I've never done stand-up. I was a dancer, first of all. I learnt to dance a bit at this stage school, so I went to live in Berlin. I did Gigi, a production of Gigi in German. And, but it was so much fun. I was only 16. Dank Heben für kleine Vieh. That's thank heaven for little girls in German. So I had these extraordinary, friends and stuff. And I was a dancer for a long time. And then I've just met an agent who said, you've got something, but you're going to have to listen to me and grow up and do your homework and things like that. And really, that it's people in your life that tell, like James L. Brooks doing the show with me, you get lucky and people focus you and help you.
How did James L. Brooks find you?
Well, I got married in America in '83, and I'd had a hit song here and a bit of a pop star. And then
with Paul McCartney, right?
Paul McCartney was in my video. And then I met just an agent who just said to me, and the agent here said, you're going to have to be serious, and I'm going to send you to people that could possibly do a show with you, and we'll start with James L. Brooks, and we'll work down. James L. Brooks said, okay, let's do something, and I got really lucky. And I said, I'm pregnant. He went, okay, don't worry, have your baby, and while you're having your baby, go to the Museum of Broadcasting on Fifth Avenue and learn about America. Watch everything from the 50s, the 60s, and get yourself an American education in entertainment, and look at Imogene Coca, and look at Carol Burnett, and look at Lucille Ball, and look at, Sid Caesar. And it was the most brilliant thing to tell me to do. So I immersed myself in America while I used to go and sit every day, and I realized how much actually had come from England and been made into American formats and vice versa. So there was lots of similarities. So by the time I did the show for Fox in the late 80s, I was confident in American politics and culture, and so I wasn't just a Brit visiting, and I knew more about the country. I made it my business to do that, and that's why I became an American recently. I just feel very, I had an American education in that way with Jim, and all those bloody Ken Burns documentaries. That'll educate you.
The Civil War. Now.
The West. Thank you, Ken Burns.
Those, and I mean, the fact that you learned all that about America is so fascinating to me, because one of the things that came out of the Tracey Ullman show, which everybody knows now, is The Simpsons, which is at this point as American, to use a cliche, as American as apple pie. I mean, it's the longest running TV show almost, I think, of all time. I think it actually is. And it's about the American family. And it was initially sort of a satire of the American family.
Yeah, I remember, that's Jim again. I mean, we needed like little bits between the sketches that we were doing, and so Heidi Perlman actually knew of Matt Groening's books, and I'd bought one of them, Life in Hell on Melrose Avenue, and he came in, Matt, and met everybody, and I remember him coming in with a first drawing of Marge's blue hair, and we all went, whoa, that's so brilliant, weird. And then, yes, they did start as little, very rudimentary bumpers, and then they spun off to be The Simpsons. And a lot of the writers from my show went onto that show. The late, great Sam Simon was on that. And brilliant writing, you see. It's all, great writing. Actually, one of the another guy just died, Kevin Curran, wonderful writer on The Simpsons. I'm very sad about that. So, yes, great things came from my show, which eventually got cancelled, and now I'd like 3 minutes in the middle of The Simpsons. But look, with the yellow crown, I'm trying to look a bit Bart there. But I'm very proud to be, and it's been a long time, and it's sustained, and it's incredible. Like you say, it's iconic now.
Yeah. Next question.
Hi, Tracey. It's lovely
Hello.
to see you. Just going off of what you just said, I'm from England as well.
Yeah.
And we have quite a different sense of humour, I find, from Americans over here. So I'm just wondering how that challenged you in your career, bringing kind of the British sense of humour over here and how you adapted yourself to make it more, not Americanised, I'm kind of generalising there, but how you made it flow and made it fluid.
Are you visiting here, or do you want
No,
to...
I live here,
You live
yeah.
here?
Yeah.
What do you want to do? What do you
I'm
do
an
here?
actor, yeah.
So what do you do when you go into auditions? Do you try and do an American accent? Or
Yeah.
do you? You do? What sort
yeah.
of, who do you study? Who do you copy?
Well, I just go off of what I've heard based on the text, research the text and stuff like that. But I'm just wondering more about the content of your work. And, I find that in England things can be very satirical and you can get away with things quite easy.
I think we're meaner in England.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're more, but you know what? Americans are just as mean. They just don't say it up front.
Okay.
I think they're just as, it's more subtle about, When I first came to America, I thought it was all wall-to-wall kind of, I love you, Mom, kind of sitcoms, and you're so special. And you make fun of that kind of America and the, let's eat pizza. I learned something today. There's that sappy, crappy stuff. And there's like Broadway Danny Rose. There was Taxi. There was Cheers. There was all this stuff I'm telling you that I watched in the Museum of Broadcasting. So if you go on generalizing, which I think I think we're a little meaner. We're more self-depreciating in England. We make fun of ourselves more. But I don't think there's huge differences. I mean, did you grow up watching Friends and stuff? And what do you like?
Like the Catherine Tate show, stuff like
Catherine's
that.
brilliant. Yeah, but if you look back in time, she probably was inspired by Lily Tomlin or Carol Burnett or Gilda Radner, like me. So I don't know. And now I've lived here so long, and there's bits of things. I mean, I think late night television, although it's all run by men, is really strong in this country. People like David Letterman are extraordinary. I don't think we've ever had anyone like him in England. So there's some things in America that are quite extraordinary. And if you look back, go look at some stuff from the 50s. Go and see your show of shows, and things like Mary Hartman. Do you know what I mean? Soap, really weird stuff that nobody was doing that weird. And you realize, oh my goodness, I see where that was inspired Python or something, or, it all connects up. I'm just so much older than you. I guess I've watched a lot more. But good luck with it all, yeah.
Which show was Mary Hartman? Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Is that
Gail Parent, who then went on and wrote Golden Girls. She was
is that the
writer
Norman
on my
Lear
show.
produced show from that was like a spin-off
Louise
of
Lasser. Yeah, how weird
that show is
that?
amazing. It's so weird. Like if that show was on TV now, it would be on like a weird basic cable channel at like 1 o'clock in the morning.
Exactly.
And like
Who was that
cult
character
audience.
that had a baby with a German Shepherd in it? It was like, It's really good.
I think we have time for one more question.
Hi.
Hello.
I remember you from England back in the day, and you look exactly the same.
Oh, thank you. So do you. That's a really stupid thing to say.
Thank you.
Good God.
Sorry?
No, it's
And I
being
don't-
English and just being sarcastic, stupid English jokes.
I got it. I heard you. I don't want to repeat that, but did you finally bring a self-deprecating humor, sarcasm to America?
Guess
Dry
I've still got that English thing like you're talking about. I could never just go, yeah, I'm so happy, I'm so excited about myself, or that kind of, that thing we think that, because Americans are more confident than us. They are, and they're more optimistic, and that's good. We're pessimistic and a bit commonsensical and sorry. But mix it up with a bit of optimism, it gives you confidence, because sometimes in England we go, oh, we can't. You're like, when you're successful, in America they say, well done. In England, they go, how did you do that? And it drives you mad.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
so you got a mix
absolutely.
of both is fantastic.
Good, great.
But I'm still, make fun of myself. And I still can't say you're welcome. And I still can't say good job. I can't say that.
I can't either. I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to take it either.
Self-depreciate must be a part of you English.
I feel very British at heart in the way that you describe it, but I don't know how to say good job nor hear someone tell me good job.
Yeah.
When someone says good job to me, I'm like, it was easy. It was super easy. It was stupid.
See,
Don't say that to me.
Yeah.
And when I say good job to somebody else, I'm like, it sounds fake. I mean it, but it sounds fake. I'm sorry.
Exactly, you apologize. Sorry, you're a little bit English, that's why, Ricky. Oh, Ricky!
But a very American varsity quarterback name, Ricky.
Yes. Where are you from?
I'm from Massachusetts.
Oh, right. Okay. I love him. He's so... Oh, really? He's such a nice guy. You're so unshow busy. Why are you doing this?
I have no idea.
That's such a real voice. You're just such a lovely guy. Why are you doing?
Shouldn't this be a little more like Tracey Ullman is
I know.
here?
You're not doing the
Tracy,
wanky.
you've got a great new
doing the
sketch
wanky
show.
presenter thing. Like we're talking with Tracy. You're not. You're just you. You're Ricky.
Tracy, when did it all start for you?
Yeah, you're not doing that shit.
I don't know how. I don't know
I don't know, it's weird. And I talked to a lot of people over the last few days, and they do that shit. You're just very relaxed. Why are you doing this? I don't know. Now I know why you're doing this. He's good, isn't he? BGB.
It's
BGB. Bloody good bloke.
It's wonderful when someone comes on the stage though and doesn't know how to handle someone not doing that, and I start talking to them normally, and they're just going like this the whole time.
Yeah, because you're supposed to do the Entertainment Tonight thing, and laugh.
What was
all
it
the
like
time.
shooting? Were there pranks?
Exactly.
Have you had any funny stories from that time?
Yeah, panic.
Any funny stories from that 17-hour day?
Exactly.
Tracy, I have to let you go. The
Yeah,
show premieres
get me
at
outta here
11
now.
p.m.
He wants me out of here. Ricky wants me out of here. Oh, yeah.
Only because you're now complimenting me and I don't know how to deal with it. Tomorrow night, 11 p.m., right?
Yes, 11 p.m. HBO after
me to-
Bill Maher, I think, and it's you can catch up and watch them when you want to watch them, and I hope people like them and all that. And I had a great time doing them. Great joy and love. If you don't like one bit of my show, just watch the next bit. You might like that. And,
Well, Tracy, we love you.
Oh,
and the
shut
show
up. No, you
premieres
don't love
tomorrow
me.
night
You
at
don't love
11
me,
p.m.
Ricky.
The lovely and talented Tracey Ullman, everybody.
Shut up. Good job. Good job, buddy. Way to go. Way to go, buddy. Ow.